Hi, my name is Melissa Cholak with English 1250, and I'm summarizing chapters 8, 9, and 10. Chapter 8 really goes over research and gathering information, and there's three main steps to chapter 8, and it's really preparing for your speech. And the only way to prepare is not to really ad-lib or to just, write down what you're thinking, it's to do your research. And that's gathering plenty of information and plenty of ammunition for what you're about to discuss to make sure it's accurate information. The first thing they discussed was beginning early and to make sure it flows. So by beginning early, I think what they're saying is not to procrastinate, not to wait till the last minute, because when you wait till the last minute, you may not have all the right information, you may not have enough information to give your speech. And a lot of the times you start to write a speech based on what you've done, and there's just not enough information. You have to go back and research more, and if you do need to research more, you've run out of time. So it really focuses on making sure you're gathering, point two, gathering more than what's needed for the right length and the right time frame. And to make sure that it's accurate information. And I think you can get some of that from, online where you like the .gov and the .edus, it's very truthful, it's very accurate sites to get information versus maybe a Facebook. And how accurate is maybe the information you're gathering from there. And point three really goes over topic, narrowing it down. What are you going to get to? What's the point? What are you mainly discussing? Sometimes you get too broad in a conversation, too broad on your topic, and you're not able to narrow it down, and the audience is lost. At that point, they don't really know what you're talking. So topic is really a very important thing. That's the main part of your speech, but you want to make sure that you're very specific on what you're talking about and making sure that research backs that topic up. And then chapters 9 goes more about organizing and outlining. You want to make sure that your organization and your outline is pulling your main points together. This goes over the body. There's 3 points to that as well. Introduction is what you're going to talk about and what the situation is on your speech. You might be giving a speech about the new cars that came out on the market, but you want to be specific that you're talking about the Ford Focus that came out on the market. So you're talking about the introduction of what the speech is going to be about. Part 2 is the body. That's your main point. Are you talking about the speed or the fuel capacity, or are you talking about the leather seat? Break it down into main points of what you're going to discuss on that introduction of the topic. And then point 3 was the conclusion. This is to restate just really what the thesis was. What's the main point of what you just talked about, really backing up what you've gone over. You've already sold them on something, but you just want to reiterate what the speech was about and what your purpose of the conversation was. And it's also a way to wrap things up in the conclusion. And then point 10, or chapters 10 were more about managing anxiety, which I actually have a little bit of. And it really went over having, some people it's normal to have anxiety, but then there's some people that truly have true fears in giving speeches. And it can be seen in your verbal, or it can be seen in body language. It also talks about making sure that we just watch our facial features, our body language, because sometimes you can really gives it away. Posture was another one of them, making sure that our posture is pretty organized and professional in giving a speech, because you want to come across as confident. You want to be able to sell what you're doing and let the audience know that what you're talking about, you have true facts and that you're confident, and you're basically selling them that you know what you're talking about. And when you have a lot of anxiety or fear, it tends to show in these ways. And that's what I learned in chapters 8 and 9 and 10. Thank you.